Hey folks, Tony Mo here, and we're going to talk a little bit about Gears Tactics today. I spent 3 hours with it on stream yesterday because I'm recording this at 3 a.m. Don't ask why. No shame. Everyone's sleep schedule is a little crazy these days. Before we talk about Gears Tactics, I need to say a few things. Number one, I was actually provided a copy of this game by Microsoft Game Studios. They reached out and said, hey, I'll play our game. Here's the key. I was like, yeah. In turn, I bought another copy of the game and gifted it to a friend. I was planning on buying the game anyway. They hooked me up with a key. Was like, all right, I'll give it to a friend. So just wanted to make that clear. No money was given to me, but I did get a copy of the game for free. Also, I've been playing this game on stream. The footage you're seeing is from the stream I had today where we played said game. Streaming has become a normal part of my routine since I'm out of work anyway. Stream has been active Monday through Friday, noon EST. We're streaming new releases. We're streaming old games. We're streaming everything. If you just want to come hang out, chat with me, talk about games, talk about food, just have a bit of social interaction because the world's a bit crazy right now. We're doing all of that. Stop on by. The link to my Twitch stream is located down in the pinned comment below, as well as the description. In fact, by the time you're watching this video, it'll probably be like a couple hours before I stream more Gears Tactics. So if you want to check this game out and stream some more with me, stop on by and maybe consider doing that. All right. We're not going to do like a really hardcore 25-minute typical Tony Mo video where we talk about every single thing Gears Tactics. I wanted to focus more on the initial impressions of playing Gears Tactics and why I think this game is perfect for folks who are looking to get into the turn-based tactics genre for the very first time. Maybe you've watched people play XCOM and it's kind of interested you, but you just were like, that's going to be too much for me. I'm not ready to stick my feet into that puddle because I feel like it's way deeper than I think it is. And you would be right. It typically is way deeper than you think it is. XCOM, for the most part, is broken up into two major components. The things that happen when you're actually playing the game in combat missions, the actual turn-based tactics, and then all of the stuff that happens when you're back at headquarters, base management nonsense, basically. Research. Just a lot of stuff that can sometimes feel like spreadsheet simulator. And I think it's where a lot of people struggle with the game, or they feel like it's too tension driven. It becomes too anxiety ridden. I totally get that. Even playing Chimera Squad recently, which I loved a lot of, it started to get a little bit more stressful once I was dealing with district anarchy and like, oh, how do I stop all of this? Oh, and you want me to research all these different weapons again. Okay, I like this, but I don't love it. I've never been a huge fan of the base management research side of XCOM. It feels a little bit too much like you just got to crunch numbers and you'll come away with the best result, and not like a game that actually wants me to experience and express myself via strategy. It does that when you're in combat, but the fact that my combat can be affected by poor management back at base can be frustrating, and I understand why new players maybe aren't interested in that sort of an experience. So the good news is that Gears Tactics doesn't really do that. Gears does have two separate things here. The stuff that happens out on mission in combat, the actual, again, turn-based tactics side of it, which I think is fucking phenomenal, and we will talk a little bit about why I think it is that in a second. And then it has the stuff that happens when you're out of mission back at base. Fortunately, none of that stuff is knee-deep research and deciding where you put your units in order to further research this thing, and did I collect that thing out in the field, and oh god dude, I didn't take pre-calc, I don't understand this. All right, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's how XCOM can feel for people back at base. There's going to be essentially three major things you do when you're outside of missions in Gears Tactics. You ready for this? All right, first and foremost, you're going to customize the visual appearance of your characters because of course you are. Of course you're going to give that guy a purple shotgun, Derek. Yes, I know you will. You'll probably give him purple armor too, and that's okay. Customize your characters. Make them your own. In fact, if they're not hero characters like Gabe Diaz, you can actually change just about everything about them, including their name and their details and the color of their armor and their hair, and give them a beard if you want to. You can get really crazy just like you could in XCOM and XCOM 2. Now, the other two things you're going to do, which are more integral to gameplay, but still very easy to understand, are skill points. So as you level up your characters, they're going to get skill points. You can spend those skill points in a skill tree that essentially has 4 specializations on 2 different sides of the tree. You could make, for example, Gabe Diaz a more focused squad healer. You could push him in the direction of damage. You could do sort of a in-between paladin type character that focuses on tanking damage and also then in turn healing his teammates. And you can do this for all of the characters, including not just the heroes, but the cogs that you recruit along the way. Skill points give you access to cool skill trees that are loaded with dope abilities, and abilities are a big part of the turn-based tactics gameplay. Again, they're pretty simple and straightforward in terms of understanding. It's how you integrate them into gameplay where you're going to get that nice, beautiful, deep layer of strategy. The other thing you're going to do back at base is you're going to take the weapon parts and gear you've acquired from completing missions and opening crates that you find in missions, and you're going to equip them. You're going to look at a scope for something like the retro, and you're going to say, okay, this gives me 150 crit damage. So if I do crit, I'm going to do 150 crit damage instead of 100 crit damage. Maybe you decide that you want to put a magazine on your gun that gives you one less bullet before you have to reload, but it increases your damage by 20. You might have a pair of pants, some gear with some pads on them that actually lets you move a little bit more. It gives you additional action points that you can use in combat, but that maybe makes you a little bit less resilient, lowers your HP. These are the sorts of things you're going to do, and you don't have to research these things. You just find them from completing missions. You find them from opening caches out in the battlefield. That's it. It's that straightforward. You get all of those wonderful tactics layers and the little bits of RNG that you can then plug into your characters and manipulate how they perform in combat, but you don't have to go through all the research and number crunching nonsense. I love it. I like XCOM a lot. Chimera Squad is probably one of my favorite turn-based tactics game ever. I'm definitely going to play more of that once I finish Gears Tactics, but I could do without the base management stuff. I like the interaction with my characters when I'm back at base, but I don't want to have to worry about researching every single thing in order to feel like I'm actually progressing and gaining access to new resources and new equipment to make my units feel more powerful and more capable when I'm actually in the turn-based tactics part of the game. Gears just strips that all away. And if you're not interested in that, you can just focus on the good stuff, the combat, the chess, right? The actual tactics. And I think that's what's going to make this game so accessible for new players. Now, the other big thing here, obviously, is if you like Gears of War and you like the universe and the characters, well, you've got a lot more of that. You've got Gabe Diaz, who is the father of Nate Diaz. You've got a story that takes place on Emergence Day. You get to see the Hammer of Dawns fall. You get to see them fail. You get to see the Scorched Earth policy that Prescott and Axe not do at all what they thought it would do, and you get to be there. You get to engage in the aftermath of that. I love it already. I'm a huge Gears fan. The characters, the universe, the art direction, that idea of destroyed beauty is on display here so well, and you get to see it from a perspective you've never seen it from before. It's just killer, dude. I'm only 3 hours into the game, but I've definitely experienced that core. I love the art. I love the cutscenes. I love the narrative so far. It's hard for me to find negative things to say about this game so far. Like the UI design, everything just works really flawlessly. I like the idea of the grid being removed and having this more freeform move system. I will say the gameplay does lean heavily into the use of Overwatch, but I'm actually okay with that. I feel like it makes sense for a cover-based experience like Gears of War. It translates really well here into turn-based tactics. There's still obviously a lot for me to learn, but dude, coming up behind somebody, chainsawing them, using the executions to get additional action points back for my team to pull off a clutch play or a clutch flank just feels so good. All of the bits that make Gears of War are here. They're represented so well, and in some ways they feel even better when you get to experience them from this isometric camera perspective that you only really get with turn-based tactics games. Like, it might think in your head, it's super visceral in third person. How could it get any better than that? Well, have you ever seen the top-down perspective of a cog soldier chainsawing a wretch in half? Yeah, it's good. It's real good. The same thing goes with the retro execution on all of the other wonderful, chunky, ultra-violent bits that make Gears of War Gears of War. This game is a lot of fun. I can't wait to play more of it. It's already a strong recommendation for me. The only real barrier here at this point is price tag. So let's talk a little bit about that, because I don't think people are fully aware of Games Pass on PC and how that can be beneficial to them in terms of trying out a new game like this. The game is currently only available on Steam and through the Windows Store on PC. It does have controller support, so I'm hoping it comes to console soon, and I'm going to imagine that this is the Microsoft Studios team, this, the side of Microsoft that's working with the Coalition and Splash Damage on this, trying to make a statement to PC gamers and say, listen, we're serious about PC. And this is a very PC feature-rich release. It's loaded with accessibility options, all of the visual things you'd expect to be able to do on PC and more. They did a great job with Gears 5. The Coalition and Splash Damage have done it again here with Gears Tactics. Like this ultra-wide support, 4K support, uncapped frame rates, even for cinematics if you want to. You can do everything. It rocks. It totally does. So if you want to pay the full $60, get it on Steam or on Windows Store, you can totally do that. It's even more in some places, I know. You could, though, instead check out Games Pass on PC. I think it runs about $10 a month right now. There's also a free trial that's been going around. If you've never had PC Games Pass, you can get a trial that's like 2 weeks. You could play the game, maybe even finish it in 2 weeks or in a few days. You could do the 1 month trial, give the game a shot. Again, you've not spent $60. You spent about $10. And if you hate it that much right off the rip, you've still got the rest of that month's subscription. Even if you cancel, you're going to get that full month. There's a bunch of other games on PC Games Pass that you can check out while you've got that subscription anyway. So that's an avenue to consider. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. And a lot of people are going to want like a comparison video. Should I do Chimera Squad or should I do this? Again, I pointed it out. Chimera Squad, yes, it's more streamlined XCOM, but it still has a lot of the base management stuff that XCOM is so well known for. So if you're looking to avoid that and you like the idea of Gears of War more as a universe and as an aesthetic, go with Gears Tactics. That's my personal belief. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. And if you watch this video in a week from now, you've gone out and you've played Gears Tactics and you fall in love with the turn-based tactics strategy, amazing. If you give it a shot and you don't like it, amazing. You tried something new. XCOM Enemy Unknown won me over, and it was the very first turn-based tactics game that I ever loved enough to buy and then to play for several hundred hours. Gears Tactics gives me those feels and then some. So maybe this game can do for you what XCOM Enemy Unknown did for me and push you out of just playing shooters or just playing action RPG games and play a strategy game for the first time in your life and actually really enjoy it. That would be cool. New things and enjoying new things is an awesome feeling. So maybe Gears Tactics does that for you. I'm going to stop typically Tony Mo rambling and let you guys go. Again, if you decide to stop by the stream, I'd love to see you, love to hang out, love to chat with you. I hope you're all taking care of yourself. Be healthy out there. Be great to one another, and I'll see you all soon.